You find yourself in a glorious, gilded palace of great religious and worshipful significance. And the room is packed with Southlings. Mostly human, but also no small amount of elves. They're singing in the air. Harp playing. Great, not joy necessarily, but reverence. You're in the back of the room. This large, kind of like the main hall of a church or a temple. Long gilded tapestries are hanging across the walls, and there are the pillars holding up the roof also have gilded, ornate decoratives coming down the side of them. There are rows of beautifully polished and carved wooden pews where the congregation is sitting. You're standing against the back of the wall of the room, and you look one direction, and you see the woman that's in the statue. And her wings are folded across her back. She's wearing robes that look similar to the acolytes that are before you, up at the front of the hall, up on the dais. You look to the other side, and you see a creature that looks similar to, but not identical to, Student 9. Whereas Student 9 had bizarre-looking hands with, like, multi-faceted Swiss Army fingers. Uh-huh. He has just regular human hands that seem made out of some kind of metal. They're folding their arms in front of them, but you can see that each of them have a hand resting on a weapon. His is rested on the hilt of a sword that is sheathed at his side. And hers is tucked inside of her robe and is resting on the blade of a knife that she can draw. You become aware that they're here to assassinate somebody. They're here to break whatever spell this false god has cast over the congregation. Before they get the chance, the doors behind you, entering into the main hall, are kicked open violently, and what look like knights storm into the room. Their speech is alien to you. You can't make it out. It's very sing-songy. It sounds like it's very far away. And these knights take this woman and this metal man and frog march them back out of the room. And as they do, the vision fades away. And you find yourself back in the room with the statue.
I'll relate what just happened to everyone else.
Hmm.
Weird.
Does that mean this is a real person?
Maybe? I don't think... Yeah. I don't think there's anything we can do about it right now, but it's something to keep in mind.
Yep, sucks to be her.
At least she's not vomiting up gold coins.
To be fair,
you never know.
Of the two gold-related afflictions, I think she got the worst into the deal.
Remember that one time somebody drank gold? That was good.
I need a perception check from everybody who's in room number 10. So everybody except Wendy and Adrex. Birdie, make this a disadvantage. Oh, you have to because you're poisoned. You say 4?
You said not Adrex, right?
Yep.
He's out of the room.
Adrex is in the other room.
Okay.
So that'd be 7 plus... It'd be 18 total.
1.
Okay.
18.
As Wendy's finished with the spell and she comes out and relays what she saw, and you guys are preparing to leave, Red, you notice just out of the corner of your eye as Birdie's coming behind you, stooping and kind of as though zombified, stooping and picking up some of the coins off the floor as he walks towards you.
Can I grab him and pull him away from the coins?
And Birdie, when he does this, the coins jingle out of your hand, and you're not even aware of what you were doing.
Someone else get his gear. Yoink.
On it.
As Birdie's yelling, he's like, "Make sure you put it back the way I had it in my pack."
I had a system.
Oh, that's not Adrex at all. What?
And Red will pat Birdie down to see if he's concealed any coins on himself.
So, Birdie, you still have all of your equipment and gear, but unfortunately now it looks like the inside of my wife's purse.
No. Okay.
And there's a few like extra things on there that you're just like, how did this get in here?
Like,
There's like
Adrex just spits his chewing gum.
There's like a chicken thigh bone. Chicken thigh bone. We don't know. It's in Birdie's
Half-eaten
pack.
piece of dried hardtack.
What's next?
We should definitely take stock of what's in here and look in here.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I'm gonna wait for. Hopefully, everyone else I think should basically be done. In the other rooms.
Birdie's gonna walk up to Raazu and like hold her hand and just be like, "Please don't let me pick anything else up. Like gold. Don't let me pick any more gold up."
Raazu puts her hand on Birdie's forehead and then says, "Are you sure that didn't do a number on you?"
It's like Birdie's gonna look at her and say, "You'll never hear me say this again." And I still say that it was the wrong move last time, but we have enough gold.
Red,
Yep.
taking stock of what's in room 8, I mean, unless you want sets of alchemical equipment, which would be heavy and bulky to transport, most of what's in here is just common materials, chemicals and things, the kind of things you would scavenge for out in nature.
Yeah.
Essentially, you find 80 gold worth of generic poisons. So as you're developing poison, this is essentially gold that you can only use for that one purpose.
Are there any formula or anything like that that I don't recognize?
Just move both of us. I'm going with you.
Out of the way.
Most of the formula you come across, I mean, there's no like big cookbook that you flip through. But just examining the materials that are here, that are on hand, you recognize typically what these poisons would be used for is to subdue and then in extreme cases transform slaves.
Okay. I don't find a formula for the goo bag poison effectively.
No.
I guess is the main thing I'm looking for.
And Raazu, there is a curtain blocking off this chamber here.
Active perception to listen for anything on the other side.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
You find anything tasty, Red?
Red, you found nothing even remotely tasty.
That's
And yet that he still fed it to Birdie.
It's all quiet.
You're saying they don't
Push
use
the,
salt as a
curtain
reagent
aside.
for anything?
Start sipping through.
Okay. Stepping into this room, it's a carefully organized storage room. The storage shelves, you see more of the types of equipment that was set out in room number 8. Including the personal effects of a variety of humanoids. And flipping through this, you do find what Vigbold identifies as some of his equipment. One of which is this very nice looking black battle axe with a carving on each side of the axe head that you don't recognize.
Raazu point that out to him and say, "Is that your stuff?"
And without acknowledging your presence, he stoops down and picks up this axe and hefts the weight of it in his hand. And you can see he's still very wobbly, even having taken the rest nearby. He's definitely not on his A game. You're not sure he could swing this axe with any strength or meaning behind it.
Birdie pokes the orc with his finger and says, "Hey, answer the lady's questions. Is this your..."
And Vigbold looks back into the room where Red and Adrex and Windy are, and you see him give Windy just a short nod and says, "And if she asks one, I will."
Birdie looks at Raazu and says, "Damn, you ain't no lady." Birdie might be a little like sick and drunk.
Birdie.
Yeah.
This shelf.
I'm not
here-
dragging your ass through the canals to get back to the rat village.
Some of these shelves here, you see part of them a collection of pouches and flasks that catch your eye. You also see 4 heavy chains bolted into the floor here. 2 of them, the chains are suspended down into the water, something dangling underneath. The other 2 are attached to heavy lock boxes that have been dragged up and are now sitting on the side of the pool here.
Oh, careful with those boxes.
Also on this shelf, he said as he opened Google Chrome to launch immigrant.com, you see what you recognize as a very badly damaged and deeply cracked spellstone.
Ooh.
I have to... Did I upload this one? I might not have uploaded this one.
Well, while you're doing that, why don't we push these back in the water? Because we know what's in them already.
You're sliding one back into the water? Which one? Left one or the right one?
This left one, this one near.
That's a suspicious question.
Mm-hmm.
This one near.
I'm sure he asks which box every time.
Birdie, which one are you pushing? Left one or the right one?
I'm not
Which
pushing
box?
any of them.
Which box, Birdie? Coward.
Raazu was pushing it.
Raazu, which one are you pushing? The left one or the right one?
Yeah, this one. This one.
And as you
nearest.
push it in, it hits the water, and with a splash, it sinks, and you see the chain go taut. But as you do, you hear the jingling of coins inside the box. And... Sorry, I'm still uploading a thing. So yeah, Birdie, you come across this collection of vials and pouches, and this badly cracked spellstone.
Okay. Let's see.
Guys, I think
Process
we waited a bit
while.
long about what's in that box.
Raazu starts pulling on the chain to pull it right back up.
Alright, and you pull it back up, and you slide it back out.
No, let's
Birdie,
open
Birdie
it
hollers.
underwater in case there's both coins. And
Like a quick
poison
just in
it.
case. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Sorry, I opened one of these while they were all still under. Barely closed it before any of the poison escaped.
Okay, super genius. Might be my guest.
Like, I don't think we should take any of the magic curse gold. Thank you.
This
It's
isn't the
not-
magic curse gold.
This is a very different gold.
All right. Does the chest seem to be locked?
It is, yes. And it's more...
What?
Well, I guess it wouldn't be more difficult to open underwater. It'd be about the same. I
You
do
can
need to
tell the
load in a
difference
tablet,
on a Kobold.
and
Sorry, what was that, Brick?
I'm going to load in a tablet,
trying
so this might crash everybody's everything, as it does.
I got
sometimes.
a. Oh, cat! Don't stand on that. I got a 22 for. No, I'm sorry. I got a 28 for search for traps
Okay.
on the box.
You don't notice any traps on the box, but
Okay.
it is locked.
And thieves' tools with a big old 22.
Okay, give me a second to show
take your time.
Birdie what he sees on the spellstone. You make out this design, but looking at the stone, you're not sure if it would be... You're not sure if it would be active. It looks like it's badly damaged. And you find it amidst what looks like a medical kit, packed with various types of medical supplies, including like some mundane poultices to staunch bleeding and whatnot. As well as
Move green hand.
large bottles of Enzushu, which is a bitter staining liquid considered poisonous by most, but can treat Yuan-ti headaches.
Save me a few of those.
I mean,
So you got what to open up this box underwater?
I got a 21 or 22 on thieves' tools.
Okay, and as you open the box, the latch opens up, and the weight of the bottom of the box dangling from this chain slips out from under you, dumping the contents, sinking down into the floor of the pool of this room. A large amount of coins, 2 bottles, and a scroll case.
Let's grab the bottles and the scroll case and bring those up first.
Okay, and then a large amount of coins
Hey, anybody got one of those empty sacks Birdie was trying to fill with bad coins?
Birdie does. Dang it, Birdie, there's coins in here.
And yeah, swim down and start filling the sack up with coins.
Okay, give me 1 second here. One of these potions you recognize is the potion of superior healing. The other one is a plain glass potion that looks like instead of liquid, it's filled with a wispy fog. That is Potion R. Who's taking this?
Make Birdie carry it.
Best place
Well,
for him to
this-
stuff coins.
Hold this instead of coins.
Wispy liquid. What?
Potion R.
Potion R.
Yeah, no. I always write the descriptions too. Wispy liquid. I just put that down. It's fine.
And who's taking the potion of superior healing?
Did we have one of those already?
Adrex. Adrex is.
Yeah, Adrex.
It's now Adrex's.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's by all
Adrix
means.
wants it.
Adrix, make me a...
Uh-oh. It's a cursed potion of superior.
Make me a medicine check.
I can do one of those. Sure.
I love medicine. Adrix.
I am very medical. That is an 18? 19. 18.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Going over some of the
19.
stuff that you guys have found, where Birdie found this broken spellstone amidst these medical supplies. Looking at it, these supplies... First of all, there's sufficient supplies here to replenish your own kit, if you so desire.
I totally desire.
But
yes.
you can tell that that's not the purpose of these supplies. These are not meant to heal wounds. These are meant to just prolong life, if you take the difference.
Yeah.
Like, there's stuff in this kit that you would see absolutely no use for treating wounds out in the fields, but if you were trying to make somebody live for as long as possible with particular injuries or ailments, this is how you would do it.
That makes sense to Adrix. And Adrix says that as he starts replenishing his healer's kit. Oh, if I wanted to keep someone alive for as long as possible, I would use some of this stuff.
Also, you guys have Scroll H. Who's taking Scroll H?
I guess I'll take it
Yeah, that's totally Birdie.
until we can get it identified. Then we'll,
So, check this other box then, Red.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to put the sack of coins on the other side of the room from Birdie.
Inside the sack of coins, you have 1,914 gold coins. Very notably, these coins do not have the markings of the ones that the Hydroloth dissolved into.
You said H, right, for the scroll?
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Did
120
anyone write that
platinum
on a party
coins.
sheet, or should I? I'm sorry, I missed the silver.
No silver.
What was that second one then?
1914 gold, 120 platinum,
Yep.
and 11 50 gold piece gems.
That's 11 gems, each of which is
Each
worth
worth
50 GP.
gold piece.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Make sure you keep the various coinage separate, and who's taking the coinage.
I say we split it up a little bit because we're gonna have to swim back to the Rat Folk village.
I thought you guys were walking.
No,
So you're going to take your armor off again?
gonna have to.
Yeah, to squeeze through the tunnels. No one's volunteering to take this gold.
I'll
no
take-
one's
I'll take some of the platinum.
Yeah,
I
think
can
we
only
should-
take so much, and then I can't fly.
I think we should just... Yeah.
How
I don't
much
know,
gold is it?
I'm
Again?
leery about the gold. Thank you.
So Birdie's not taking any of this gold, any of this coin.
Adrix will take it.
can you carry enough, Adrix?
It's not the pack mule before.
How much gold did we just add?
1914
1900.
gold. I grabbed the platinum. I can take it off my sheet if people decide they want to carry something.
I'll go ahead and take 300 of the gold.
Okay, so that's
Has that been added
1614
yet? I
left.
subtracted. Okay. I'll just add it right here.
And you said
I'll take
keep them
200.
separate, right?
Mm-hmm.
14. So this is separate gold from the party gold.
There shouldn't
Red,
be
do you
any
want-
party gold because we've divvied all that up. Everybody should know what they're carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did somebody
Adrex,
add? Did somebody just add
Windy,
this room?
and Red? Actually, everybody go ahead and roll the
Mhm.
initiative.
Initiative?
Roll what?
Initiative.
Ha! I don't have to move.
I do.
Because Adrex and Red were both carrying a lot of gold previously, it looks like.
Does anyone want? Destil, where did you write down that gold? I think I might have lost the party loot sheet at some point.
The party loot sheet has a matrix that has each player's individual wealth on it. I added it to mine.
Where is this?
It's on the side there.
I'm saying I think I lost. I've got like 6 party note sheets, but they all have different names on them.
I
The
put
one
it
I
I'm
don't
looking
know
at is
which
called
cutesy
Flumph of
name
the
we're
Wild
using for this
info
one.
sheet, and everybody's
Yeah.
looking at it, and it has party currency on a grid off to the side.
Okay, Flumph of the Wild party notes. Got it. Thank you.
As you guys are loading some gold up in this bag, Adrex, Windy, and Red, as you open your bags, I need the 3 of you to make me strength saving throws. Adrex, who is carrying way more gold than the other 2, needs to make me this saving throw at disadvantage.
Boo! Boo! I'm normally good at
Red,
these.
are you in the water while you're loading up coins?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you don't
I
make
got
any,
a-
then your saving throws automatically failed.
Oh, okay.
And Adrex and Windy, place yourself in this room where you're actually going to be, because
It's... Would have been a 20. Arrgh.
all 3
I
of
actually
you.
probably would have failed as well because I'm picking up the platinum.
Okay.
Uh,
All 3 of you, step 1, erase all of the coinage that was already in your bags previously. Anything you
lot of
were
gold.
carrying is gone. And Adrex, out of your pack, very suddenly, with such violent force that it knocks you to the ground, swarms out 4 of these gold mephits. Red, 1 swarms out of your pack. Windy, 1 also swarms out of yours. Red and Windy, you are both essentially prone underwater. And Adrex is knocked prone as well. Everybody's surprised except Birdie cannot be surprised.
Yeah, just a heads up. Raazu had 300 gold prior to this windfall, so I'm just gonna say she failed whatever save it was.
Were you loading up your pack with gold? Were you putting...
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
Wait, was the question specifically gold? Because I took no gold. I took platinum.
Yeah, anybody who was who's opening their coin pouch in this scene had to make that
Coins,
save.
yes, got it.
Okay, yeah,
Was Raazu doing that? Then yeah, you need to make
yeah.
that save.
Raazu was. I was muted. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say.
Don't say make the saving throw, jerk, or I'm gonna come to your house and light it on fire.
Oh, I was expecting to fail because my dexterity's a butt.
Strength.
no.
strength. It's strength. It's strength.
Oh, that's definitely a pass.
Is your
That's a-
house already on fire, and that's why you're distracted?
It might be. That's 25, so yes, I pass.
All right.
What was the DC out of curiosity? Maybe I still make it.
Million.
Only 12.
I did make it.
Yeah, if you made it, you're not
Hey.
knocked prone.
But
But yeah, one of
still
these
lose the gold.
one of these
All right.
creatures also swarms out of your pack, and the room is suddenly filled with this just devious cackling and laughter as nobody has opened their packs of gold for weeks and weeks and weeks. As I've been carefully cut pasting the effects of this from one document to the next until somebody finally opened their gold pouch for some reason.
This is the long con right here.
And you
okay,
recognize these mephits as the ones that you fought on the hill and you remember the gold dust that they exploded into settling on the ground, and several of the mephits were unaccounted for. Red, you are prone, underwater, and surprised. Birdie, you are poisoned and exhausted, but not surprised, because you can't be, as I recall.
Right. Okay.
And it looks like these mephits are just swirling around the room and are going to cause no end of mischief.
I hate mischief.
Well, I'm going to shoot this one with my bow.
Okay.
So,
And you can't. Your quiver is filled with gold coins. No, go ahead.
What?
You're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You're okay.
No.
I love you best, Treble.
Okay, thank you. But I don't actually do disadvantage. Like, so I got double disadvantage from exhaustion and poison.
Mhm.
But so that's still disadvantage because I only get one advantage.
No matter how much advantage you get for any sources, does not cancel out the fact that you have disadvantage on the roll. So you're not going to be able to get sneak attack because you have sources of disadvantage.
No, I'm not worried about the disadvantage, but I'm talking about the number of dice I need to roll here.
You've got 2 sources of a disadvantage. How many sources of advantage do you have?
Just one, like I
Then
said.
you're at disadvantage.
That's a 4 and plus 9. So that'd be 13.
A 13 will hit.
Sounds like you didn't cut paste enough.
So that's 11 magic piercing.
Okay.
On this mephit.
On which one?
The one next to the orc, right here.
Next to... Okay.
Because I figure if they're going to spew molten gold out as blood or whatever they do, then, like, I don't know the orc and I don't like him, so...
And he does pop and explode into a cloud of this gold dust that essentially fills a 5-foot radius sphere around him. So Adrex and Vigbolg are stuck in it, which is heavily obscured.
Sorry, Adrex.
Tricky.
And I need a dexterity saving throw from Adrex, and I'll roll Vigbolg's.
These are in bad at. It's an 11,
11.
apparently.
This gold dust is very fine and powdery as it starts falling to the floor, and it gets into your eyes and your mouth, and you start coughing it, you blink, and you start tearing up quite a bit, but you are not blinded by this thing's death bursts. And that's going to bring us to my mephits, who are going to have a great time with all of you.
Glad we could be of help.
They can try.
Red and Windy, you're both essentially prone and surprised, but also safe, because the mephits do seem to have an aversion to the water and do not approach it. We'll start with Birdie.
Mm-hmm.
No one won't, because that's really low rolls. We'll go ahead with Raazu now. That's a little better. Raazu, I have a 21 to hit.
I'll let that happen.
You'll let that happen. 6 points of slashing damage as these 2 mephits swirl around your head and descend on you with their claws, cackling madly, but only one of them manages to slash you. Vigbolg takes some damage from this mephit as he's coughing and blustering in this cloud. And Adrex. I rolled a 2. Birdie and Adrex, you're being harassed, but you are not hit by the mephits. That's going to bring us to Adrex is surprised, Windy is surprised, Raazu is surprised, and back to Red. So it's going to take you half of your movement to kind of get your bearings after being knocked in the water. Because you are prone and swimming.
For once, at Windy is surprised, I'm just like, yeah, that's fair.
You knew money was bad trouble. So Red, what's next?
So are these guys out.
Oh my god, they've killed Destil's microphone.
Yeah, your mic's cutting in and out. Red pulls himself up. out of the
Destil,
hole.
you're in the tunnel.
Yeah, sorry, I moved my mic away from my head. Is this one obscured currently?
Yeah, if you pull yourself out there, you're standing in the heavy obscurement. They seem to be immune to the effects of it, though.
In that case, I'll swamp over here and on Cypher bonus, and let's stab this one.
Gotcha.
This is a Kraken Priest Dagger.
Okay.
Hit an armor class of 27.
27 will hit.
For 25 damage.
25. I'm going to go ahead and get a yellow marker here. And just... That's not yellow, but you get the idea. These squares are obscured, and... Which one were you attacking? And now these squares are obscured. As I need Raazu and Red to make that dexterity saving throw.
+4.
It's like a 22.
Raazu, 4. Did I hear that right?
No, an 18. 18.
And same thing. This fine gold powder, as this thing explodes and its laughter subsides, you manage to keep it out of your eyes and throat. So you're in this middle of this heavy obscurement, but you are not blinded.
Give Raazu advantage on our next attack against that one.
And Birdie, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm going to just, I guess I'll just stab this guy with my short sword.
Okay.
So that would be a 13.
13 will hit.
Okay. For 11, 12, yeah, 11 points of damage.
Very good.
So it was this one I stabbed.
Yep. And he
And I'm
also
going
explodes. So I need Adrex and Birdie to make that dexterity saving throw.
That's a
18.
18?
23.
23. And neither of you are blinded by the death burst. Birdie, where are you moving?
I'm going to cunning action, disengage, and jump in the water.
Jump in the water. Are you just paddling at the surface of the water, or are you diving down?
No, I'm paddling at the surface of the water.
Okay, it's a good thing you got rid of the 300 pounds of gold coins, or you'll always be sinking.
Yes.
Well,
Which
we've
was-
got the spell still up, right? The water breathing spell? Because that lasts 8 hours or something.
that lasts forever, essentially.
Yeah.
Full day.
Okay.
So you're just swimming to the back corner, but you're staying up at the surface?
Yes.
Okay.
Figured I've already got disadvantage. Might as well just go in the water.
Okay. Adrex,
Yeah.
I need 2 dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
The third one claws down at Vilbolg, and you hear it strike, and the thing cackles out. Vilbolg
That's a
grunts in
17
pain.
and a 5.
A 17 and a 5. You're suddenly aware. At first, these 2 mephits descend down towards you, but as they lash out with their claws, you're aware of only parrying one of them, and you have no idea where the other one went.
Okay.
And I've got Raazu will also need to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. The same thing happens. This one descends down towards you with its claws, and you work to get your trident up in the way to parry its blows, but suddenly it's no longer there.
Okay.
And that's going to bring us to Adrex.
How does grapple work?
How does grapple work? You make a
Yeah.
strength athletics check against its opposed athletics or acrobatics check. And if
I'm gonna
you
do that.
win the contests, it is grappled. And you can do this as many times as you have attacks.
14.
14?
Yeah.
I got a 13. So you're reaching
All right.
out and
Bummer.
grabbing this mephit?
Yep.
Okay. You're gonna have to drop. You have to have an empty hand to grapple. So what do you drop? You were holding the torch and I assume, one of your swords.
Yeah, I'll drop the torch.
Okay, yeah, you reach out and nab this thing out of the air and throttle it around its neck, and it stops laughing, that's for sure.
And
it starts
Adrex
kicking
jumps
and
in the
beating
water.
its wing. You jump in the water?
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Adrex is really mad.
And you hear this horrible screeching sound, like someone holding a cat to a stove, emit from this creature as its form dissipates as it comes in contact with the water. I want you guys to close your eyes and remember the scene where Judge Doom takes the cartoon shoes.
Oh man.
Okay, that's what Adrex does. And this thing screeching comes to an abrupt halt as Adrex breaks into the water and the thing's throat and mouth. And now there's just this yellowish sludge that Adrex is aware of swimming through. Did you at least shout cannonball before you jumped in?
No, Adrex is really mad. He's not playing.
All right.
As Adrex sinks to the bottom.
Are you wearing your heavy armor?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, you're sinking to the bottom. That's going to bring us to Windy. Windy, you're also very aware, being in the water.
I didn't realize it would be instant death.
Of this yellow liquid kind of seeping out. So either the thing dissolved when it came in contact with the water, or Adrex just peed. One of the things.
That seems useful. I'm gonna get it. Where that?
Where that?
Yeah, where that?
I just grappled and I guess killed this one. So
All right, so let's go grapple that other one. I approve of Adrex's gusto at life.
Okay. Are you billowing?
Bro, I'm billowing.
Okay. You gotta beat a 6.
Got him.
Yeah, and you lash out and you grab this in one of your talons.
And I'm just gonna flip off the wall and hold it face down beneath me.
And you grab this thing off of Vilbolg, as Vilbolg is doing the best he can to defend himself with his axe, but he's just at the edge of exhaustion. You yank this thing back, and the room goes very suddenly silent as its shriek ends.
And Wendy's counting under her breath, 3, 2, 1, and then high fives where Adrex is, completely unable to see him.
I didn't think it would kill him right away. I was hoping I'd choke it to death, but that works too.
Alright, what's next?
Raazu.
Over the course of the
Raazu
next
rolled.
few minutes, the powder in the air dissipates and just falls to the floor. As this yellow
Adrex
film.
opens his empty coin purse now to make sure that the Mephit wasn't in there.
And you open it underwater,
Yeah.
and this you open it, and for a moment, what looks like an air bubble escapes from it. And you think you hear the sound of a scream emanate from it as it bursts in front of your eyes and dissipates again into this yellow sludge.
Birdie also opens his. Birdie looks down and goes, "Huh," and he dives down and opens his coin pouch that he did not open with everybody else's.
And your coins just spill out onto the floor. Far below.
Cool.
Raazu sighs, jumps into the water, does the Ocarina of Time Iron Boots thing, and then opens up her pouch.
Same thing happens. This air bubble escapes, and you think you hear the scream from inside as the thing poofs from existence.
I'm taking the platinum. Platinum has never betrayed me.
All the gold you were carrying in the 3 of you that just opened your pouches is gone. But the gold that you found in this room has not been affected. You can still collect all that up and divvy it up if you wish. Red. The collection of vials and pouches on this shelf. This looks like the good stuff. This looks like the rare poisons that have been concocted and put together. So here's what we're going to do. There are 16. Did I count that right? 16? Yes, 16 total. Some are in vials, some are in flasks, some are in little pouches. So we're going to start rolling intelligence poisoner kit checks to see if you've identified any of these. until you fail one. At that point, the rest of the poisons will remain a mystery to you.
Don't beef it.
What was that first roll? You're muted, by the way.
First one's a 9.
A 9. So the first one fails. So let's just describe the vials and stuff that you find.
Red's just gonna take all.
Oh, I knew you were going to take all of them.
Red's in the tunnel.
Oh, no, you know what? The first one's a freebie.
Oh,
You have
okay.
your DMG handy, so you know what these are.
Mhm.
The first one is a vial of serpent venom, just in a small kind of nondescript glass vial. The second is in a red glass bottle, shaped like a star, that you know to have religious significance amongst the Yuan-ti. The third is a very viscous fluid in an ivory flask. The next one is a very foul-smelling concoction in a dark purple metal flask. There is a pair of faceted smoked glass bottles. You find 2 pinches of what looks to be sand, each in its own little silken pouch. Roll me that check one more time at advantage, because I think you've seen this poison before.
How about a 10?
A 10?
Yep.
The largest of the vials is a metal vial shaped like a long finger that is slender and has the coloration of a drow's hand. At the end of the finger, it ends in a very sharp nail that you can tell has a pinhole at the end of it. You can administer the poison by using this to puncture a wound.
Mhm.
And it feels heavier than some of the other vials. It's made of metal. It seems like it's carrying multiple doses of whatever's inside.
Okay.
Then you find a large, lacquered, and very heavy preserved venom sac of some kind of large beasts filled with... Actually, you know this too, because you've literally made this. It's 5 doses of wyvern poison.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot you guys actually did fight and harvest a wyvern earlier in the campaign.
That was good times.
And so you've itemized everything of value on this shelf, and Adrex and Raazu are now standing at the bottom of the pool with all their armor on.
Raazu
Which
would
is
attempt
okay
to
with
start. Raazu would attempt to start climbing her ass back out of the pool
Okay.
once she's satisfied that she believes the Mephit to be dead.
So did you guys divvy up the coinage you found in this room? Yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah, let me double check the.
So
How much more is unclaimed? Pray tell.
We have 11 50 gold piece ruby gemstones and some other stuff. The special gold.
I'll take 3 of those 50 gold ones.
How much of the special gold are you taking?
I was
Right,
just
you
taking
can-
200.
You could spend your
200.
action over a long rest to repeat that check to attempt to identify these poisons that you haven't yet.
So I don't know if this is intentional, Brick Road, but this is the same symbol I have for contagion.
Is it now?
Yes.
Uh,
From when we identified the
that might be fine.
potion.
Oh right, I
Yeah.
remember that. That was pig touching. I remember that.
Pig touching, the war crimes, pig touching.
All right, it wasn't a crime.
That was a war crime.
There
That
were
was
only like 30 people. It can't be a war crime.
So what do you do? What do
Skirmish
you,
crime at best.
Skirmish cry.
Make a. Well, first of all, Red, did you hear what I said about repeating that check?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me make a note of which ones you have not identified yet. I think that will come up in the future.
So we still have a whole other box we haven't opened.
Birdie, make me a medicine check.
Oh God.
You cannot make this advantage because Adrex is in the bottom of the pool.
Okay.
And staying there until someone tells him, you should come back up.
How many blips do I have? I have 3, so that's not an auto success. That's an 8.
An 8
Bless you.
strikes you as strange that that sort of magic would be found alongside essentially medical supplies, but these are Yuan-ti, so.
Hmm.
So what do you do with this information?
I mean, I just file it away as I pocket the spellstone.
Okay.
Maybe we could use this to touch some more pigs later. I don't know.
Gross.
Don't judge.
By the way, this is Spellstone F.
Let's see, I think I have that written down. Yeah, spellstone F.
Okay.
Okay.
What's next? Vigbolg, at this point, now that he's kind of coughed the gold dust out of his system, he saw Adrex dive in the water and not return. He's now at the base of the pool, down on his knees, glancing down with great concern. He doesn't seem so shaken up about Raazu jumping in, though.
Raazu came back out.
Well, not yet she hasn't, because it's going to take her a couple minutes to climb all the way back up.
Uh-oh.
There's still one box left, right?
As you go to examine the last box, Vigbolg implores you, are you not concerned? He motions to Adrex. He just jumped in wearing armor. He's going to drown.
Oh no, he can breathe water.
Now he just starts looking confused, and at this point, Raazu reaches up with her glove that she's totally wearing, slaps on the floor, and drags herself up. And there is a look of disappointment on Vigdolg's face for just a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide the other box underwater and swim down.
Okay, you do so.
Check for traps. Investigate.
Yep.
Perceiving, I'm
Adrex.
investigating.
Adrex waves to Red.
That's a wave to Adrex. That's an investigative
Of what?
11.
You don't see any noticeable
Adrex.
traps on the box.
Go ahead and pick the lock.
Distracted him.
Let's say tools of 21.
Okay. And opening the box, you immediately see that it's filled with some more of the goo.
Snap it
Starts
back
to
shut.
Bubble out. You snap it shut. Okay.
And there's still 2 more boxes down there, right?
There are 2 that have been hanging here the whole time that you guys have not done anything with yet.
Well, let's just swim over. Take a look. I'm not gonna check this one for traps. Let's just pop the lock.
Okay.
Say
Box full of 30 traps.
21.
And yeah, more goo.
Yep. And last one, lock. Another 21.
And yet more goo.
Yeah, all the rest are goo.
I really hope you would open these in the other order and go goo, goo, goo. Not opening the 4th one, it's just more goo. Let's leave.
Alright, so
So we
But
still
all
need to
20
find
yeah.
something to. So there have been no formula or anything in any of the places we've looked so far, right? Nothing relating to this goo in any language I can read.
No, as far as like a cookbook for making more of the stuff, you've seen nothing of the sort. That being
Okay.
said, you've not been able to translate anything you saw back in the Hydroloth's quarters.
Right.
Hmm.
I'd like to have a way to neutralize what's left of it in here. Maybe that supernaturally cold area would be safer. It's behind the last door, though.
You said there was a bunch of like prisoner effects in these boxes.
Yeah, but nothing of value. Just
Okay.
bits of clothing and some kind of useless weaponry, like somebody's knives or spoons or cooking pans, boots, that kind of stuff.
I'll pull Adrex the rest of the way out as he gets back to the top. So, want to go
dude.
deal with the jail?
You can't lift Adrex out of the water.
Well, I can give him a hand.
Adrex will.
You can put a
Adrex
hand
is
near him.
He'll climb out of the water over long
Golf
takes.
clap.
Well, if we
Head
found
breaks water. Hey guys.
Well, if we found the orcs' equipment here, then there's no reason to go in there.
I think we should probably deal with that last Yuan-ti. That's probably the only one left alive here.
If he's even
And
there.
also those tentacle things.
Unless he already fucked off.
He might have. Which would be worth knowing.
Fair. All right.
Plus, I'm hoping maybe to find... I still haven't found anything I can... that tells me what poison makes the goo bags. So not only do we not know if we have it, but we also haven't... I want to find a way to destroy it.
Okay, you had coming into this hallway. It's much as you left it, except the door leading to this room is wide open.
Yep.
And you still hear the writhing masses of the creatures in the cells with the iron barred doors.
Adrex, Raazu, one of you want to go in first?
Raazu steps forward, disengage, moves across.
I was going to go into the room with the thing and kill it, but...
I have a better idea.
Why?
Like, we should literally just, like, as we're exiting, just drop the blocks where they can't. That way we don't have to kill them. They just leave them trapped in here. There's a block here,
They might be able to go under the water.
and we can drop a block here. And then they're trapped in this little area.
Isn't that worse than killing them?
Also, we wouldn't have access to the lab anymore if we learn anything else. I guess
Fair
we could
point.
maybe swim out. Because the only reason we weren't... Yeah. And I can't get, like, a shot with my bow at any of these guys through the bars of these doors, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm not too.
Not through
like,
the
I
bars.
don't want to.
No. You don't have
Okay.
an angle on them. And you don't want to
Don't
end
really
a turn
want to.
standing in front of the doors.
Mm-hmm.
But just moving through the hallway is not difficult.
Okay.
They'll
Yeah,
reach
so
out
I'll
for
be-
you, but if you don't engage them...
Yeah, disengage. Look at this room.
And you see evidence of a very hurried escape. You don't see the crossbow, or you do see the tubing that was connected to the back of this crossbow-looking device that he was holding. It's a personal quarters, tailored to one of the snake-torsoed Malison. You see this long stone, essentially mattress slab on the floor in front of you that looks like it would be a very cool and comfortable place to curl up and sleep if you were mostly snake. On the wall behind it, as Vigbold comes in behind you, you hear him cry out as he sees on the wall behind is this horrible looking quilt that is stitched together of scraps of all of the various clothes from these prisoners. And Vigbold just looks in anger as he sees his old breeches and tunic torn apart and sewn into this bizarre device. The tube that was connected to the crossbow that was aimed at Red is just laying on the floor, just open now. And it snakes underneath and into an opening in the side of this slab. On
Snakes.
Thanks.
the shelves
Yeah, that
back
was great.
here,
Mm-hmm.
you find just another cache of medical supplies like you saw earlier. There are many discarded bones and things in this room from previous meals from this Malison. You see implements of torture on these shelves as well. Red, you see what... Go ahead and make me one more poisoner's kit check. Let's see if you recognize...
Yep.
this next
How many
pouch.
charges of my healer's kit did I add, Brick?
Let's go ahead and fill it up.
Excellent.
Yeah,
That would be a 13.
13. You recognize there's a small pouch here. And you recognize the odor in it very faintly as something called Yog-Tagash. Yog-Tagash is an orange powder which is meant to be inhaled. And it's a Yuan-ti drug with extreme psychedelic effects. On the bottom shelf, down below your knees, is a very heavy block of salt with large chunks chipped out of it. Next to it is a small tool used for this purpose.
See, this is where they kept the salt.
The pool in this room is frozen over on the top.
This is the other side of that weird pool we found. Birdie.
Yep.
Is there any, like, I'll grab one of the torture implements and just sort of smash it against the top of the pool.
And you do so, and it's frozen over, but it's not particularly thick. Like, it wouldn't support your weight. And after a few moments, you take this, I don't know, drill bit, let's say, and you manage to chip away a fist-sized hole in the top of this ice sheet.
Does it start to look like it's refreezing on its own?
It looks like it will eventually. It's not in any hurry to do so. What's strange, though, is the water underneath has an almost gelatinous look to it. It's not... there's no current to it, it's not flowing, but it looks like it's wobbling under the blows of this drill bit you've used to hammer in to the ice sheet.
I'll drop a piece of leather into there.
Just into the water?
Yeah, into the hole I've broken in the ice.
It's floating there now.
Not
And it starts
dissolving or
to-
anything?
It's not dissolving, but it does start to frost over. And
Okay.
it's not just floating on top like it would be on the water. It looks like you've just thrown it into a pool of gelatin.
I mean, Red will kind of shrug. I guess I'll investigate that tube.
Kneeling down and checking out the tube. This was essentially plugged into the back of this weapon he had aimed at you.
Mhm.
And it's... I'm sorry, I have to say, it snakes down onto the floor.
Yeah, it does.
And into a recess in the back of this stone slab. And you realize that the slab itself sits apart from the wall a couple of inches. And this tube meets it at the bottom. And looking up, you see a wooden slat, only a couple inches wide, just long enough to fit between the slab and the wall. And it has what looks like finger handles in it. Like you could reach in and slide it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's try that. I'm gonna pull a long working tool out of my thieves' tools, though, instead of doing it with my hands.
Okay. And you do so, and for a moment, it's difficult to get the leverage in there on the tool. Like, you ever put too much crap into a kitchen drawer and now it won't open?
Mhm.
Something's jamming it up. It looks like it's going to take a little bit of tugging and pulling. And when you put some back into it, the first thing that happens is there's a wet, sticky slap as something falls out of the space in this large drawer, essentially, you're opening up and hitting the floor. And you realize it's some kind of removed organ. It was in somebody's body at one point. And there's lots of these jammed into this space.
Gross.
They're jammed...
How decayed are they?
They seem to be preserved pretty well. Either that or they're very fresh. Amidst what you find is a metal rod, about 1 foot long, laying in the bottom of this slat. So you have to pull it a good ways out before you're able to pull this out. There's black powder residue on the back of the wooden slat near where this rod is sitting.
And is that all the things I find back there?
Aside
The
from
organs and the rod?
some bloody rags, some discarded gauze, and a pretty sick-looking bone saw. But you'd have to actually... This rod is tucked down underneath this organs and this other disgusting detritus.
Yeah, let's try and pull it out.
Left him alive.
Pull out the rod.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You pull out the rod, and for a second it catches on something, and you're not sure what it is. Then you realize the opposite side of this rod goes underneath where this tube is connected to. By pulling on this rod, you're going to pull this tube all the way through and around.
Okay.
The rod itself is fairly heavy, like it's filled with something. Looking at it, at the one tip is where the tube enters into it. The other tip it's sharpened and pointy. And kind of sloshing it back and forth in your hand, you can hear granules of powder sliding back and forth inside.
Can I cork it off with something and take it back to investigate later? How big is it?
The metal rod itself is about a foot long, and it's fairly heavy because it feels like it's full of this maybe sand. Probably a couple feet of tubing coming awkwardly off the end of it. It doesn't look like the powder's in any danger of spilling out, but some of it might slide into this tube if you're not careful.
I'll tie the tube shut. So the other end is sealed, or is it sharp? Sorry, I don't quite.
It's sharp, and you can see where it's hollowed. But if you turn it up, whatever's inside is too coarse to come through the little hole.
Okay. Yeah, I'll find something to function as a cork to just stopper that, so I can put it in my bag without worrying.
Okay. You use one of the nearby organs.
Yep. Is there anything else that's interesting in this room?
No, there is not.
All right. Well,
from this angle, looking down into the pool, you can see bleached skeletons in the pool itself, just suspended in the jello substance.
I don't remember if we swam high up enough to see those on the other side.
You guys didn't. You barely went into this
tunnel
here.
Pretty much turned around and went away. Yeah.
Started getting cold damage as soon as you poked your head in.
Well, I think that aside from this rod, which I'll study when I have a chance, I don't know if there's anything else we want to look at here. Like, are we done with this place?
When we have the chance.
Well, hopefully they're outcasts and they can't go back to the city.
McDohl gives every indication that he is absolutely done with this place.
I bet he is.
All right. Well, you got.
Like, my only concern is we still have a number of chests of this stuff that it would be better to do something with, but I'm not sure what.
There were 3 in this room.
Yep.
And 3 down here in 14 where you came in.
Still only have 1 charge of my breath weapon, so.
I mean, they're all stone. They were in stone chests, right?
Metal chests.
Metal chests. Yeah. No, it's fine.
I'm a little worried that at some point, I mean, well, we should at least take them out of the water, so they can't. If they break open, they can't. Everything here is connected to everything, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we could move all the chests here in the cold area. Just.
It would take a lot of work.
It's still connected to everything else, though.
It would take a lot of work, but I think it's worth you doing it.
I'm doing nothing of the sort.
Is this area, the upper areas that aren't underwater, are they relatively flat? Is there any area that's like lower than the rest that doesn't have water?
No, it's all one level. Anything that was lower would be submerged. The water has sought its own level across all these rooms.
I mean, I'm just worried about someone else coming to return the pool.
I don't know if there's much you can do about it, honestly. Aside from moving the chests out of the way, but if someone's going to come back up here and find the stuff, then they're going to find it. And
not if we take it with us, or we put it somewhere that at least can't get into the water supply.
If we take it with us, I don't think we need to wait for, like, 1 breath per attack. Like, that's because we didn't have a bunch of it at the time. I think we could get it all into one area. Like, essentially, we just need to watch over it until tomorrow.
Like, I think we should literally just bring it over here in this cold area. The water's already cold enough, and then freeze the entrance shut.
Feel better if we collapse the entrance.
Why don't we just put it under one of those blocks and just smash it.
I don't think releasing it into the air is necessarily.
What if it was
What
on
I'd
the
like
other
to do would
side
be
and we were on
researching some sort of neutralization agent, but
Okay, Red, listen. We don't know if the one who escaped is going to bring backup.
right.
So we need to make a decision now, and if we can't do anything about it, then
All right. Adrex, can you freeze a bunch of boxes?
Adrex burps in reply.
All right, we get all 6 boxes right next to each other. We put them in a single ice flow, and we bring it downriver with us.
So you're saying we bring the virulent poison
That's not a bad
that
idea.
you're saying we bring the virulent poison that turns people that get infected to it into more virulent poison back with us as we go back to as we go back to the home of a bunch of people.
Adrex,
Yeah.
you're confident that your breath weapon could freeze the quantity of poison that you found inside of these 6 boxes. However, the river is cool, but it's not cold enough for that ice to stay frozen indefinitely. This is a temporary solution.
Yeah, no, this is just to get
long
it
enough to get
transport
back to the.
Okay, so you're taking it back to the Warrens with you inside of a big chunk of ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm against this.
I am
Joe,
too.
better
but-
idea?
Yes.
This at least keeps it under our control.
Maybe
This
I can
makes it
research a way to
terrible.
neutralize it or destroy it. Maybe we should, I don't know, grab some extra alchemical reagents. Wish we had an alchemist.
I think you're the closest thing we have to an alchemist.
Doesn't somebody
Probably an
have?
alchemist or a poisoner?
Somebody has an alchemy kit. No, we have a herbalism kit.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys some time to think about it while we take a break so I can go handle my dogs and whatnot.